Hi, I'm Abigail Wood, your host for Parkland Playbook, and today I have Ella Hesner, a senior wrestler, with her record 18-3 on our girls wrestling team. How are you today, Ella?
Good, thanks for having me out here. I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you, so let's start at the beginning. How did you first get into wrestling? Was it always something you wanted to do, or did it kind of come as a surprise to you?
It never really went through my head. I come from a long line of wrestlers in the family. My dad wrestled. He wrestled in college. My aunt actually wrestled. And she was on the Olympic team. Yeah,
wow.
it was pretty neat.
Yeah.
So she was on the Olympic team a while ago. So kind of always just has been a thing, normal. And then Mr. Trent, our science teacher here at Parkland, came to one of our middle school softball practices and tried to recruit and just try and build a team. And I was the only one that went. And at first it was like really awkward. I didn't know if I wanted to come back, but then my dad had me come back a few more times, and it stuck.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I stuck with it.
I mean, your team now, you have how many on your team?
40 or so.
40? And what did you start your freshman year with?
8.
8, yeah.
Like
so
8 of us.
It multiplied by 5 at least, and
Yeah.
that's crazy. So I can only imagine, and having the program build and build before your eyes and just being a part of that probably has been amazing.
Yeah.
And having the link with your family, that's so cool. I'm sure you and your aunt can talk about how it is being a girls wrestler and all that.
Yeah.
So how was it you talked about your first practice and it being a little nerve-wracking and you stuck with it. How was it your first time stepping onto the mat?
Scary. I didn't really know what I was doing yet. So it was just awkward, and it was a tournament, but there was nobody in our brackets, so I wrestled 2 of our other Parkland girls. So it was kind of just odd, but it was the first match. I think I actually lost it. I lost my first match and then won the second, but
I feel like you learn more from losing than winning.
Yeah, sure.
So now that you've been on the mat, how many, like a million times you would say, so many, how is it compared to now?
Good. Definitely got my match prep down. I'm able to go out there with a better mindset, head in the right space. I feel prepared.
Yeah.
I have more tools in the toolbox to use than I did first time stepping on the mat. Oh yeah. And I'm excited to wrestle when I get out there.
What's your mat?
I'll throw headphones or AirPods on. I'll put some rap music on most of the times. Just kind of hype up music.
Get in the mood.
Pace. Just get in the right headspace, and the rest kind of follows.
Yeah. How is you've won a lot this season. You've won 18-3. What would you say your biggest win was, and how did that feel?
I don't know that I've had a super big win yet this season.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing that really stood out. I won a tournament past 2 weekends ago, so that was a pretty big thing. It was a big tournament. First time our team went. I needed that win. I was stuck in a semifinal loss slump. So I got that win, and that felt pretty good.
Yeah, gain your confidence back, and have kind of the mindset back to further your season this year. You've gotten pretty far. You've done regionals, states, all that throughout your high school career. Is that what you're looking to do this year?
Yes.
Yeah.
We have EPCs coming up this weekend, and then the rest of the tournaments.
How are you feeling about EPCs?
Good. I should be pretty okay.
Yeah. Is there anyone that you faced before that you're a little nervous about, or?
Not nervous. I mean, anything can happen. Everyone's beatable. So just go out there with that in my head and not get almost cocky and caught up, and just go out and wrestle.
It's the balance of being confident but not overconfident in what you do and how you do it and that. But you said nothing was too challenging, and EPCs might not be too challenging, but you never know. It's anyone's game. What out of all 4 years would be your most challenging match that you've had?
I don't know about most challenging, but most memorable would be winning regionals freshman year. I wrestled against a girl who wrestled for 10 years, and I had no right beating her or nothing, and I did. So that was a pretty big upset and pretty cool. And then,
do you remember how you beat her?
Yeah, I don't know how, but I was up 11-3 or something.
Oh wow.
So it was by points, and then within 30 seconds, she threw me in some type of headlock, got a takedown, whatever, and it was like 10-11. I was on my back with like 10 seconds left, so I just had to fight off my back, and that was a really neat feeling. And then sophomore year at States, I also had an upset for third place. Also kind of had no rate beating her, and I did, and that was a pretty cool moment.
Yeah.
And then it kind of like full circled with my dad, so that was a pretty neat experience to share with him.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah.
And having those upsets probably makes you feel so much like, oh my gosh, I'm actually in this sport that's, girls wrestling isn't as big as boys, and completing that and being a role model for younger students and having a younger program. I know we have a younger program, our middle school program. How is that?
Good.
Yeah.
Numbers are crazy for our middle school program, and then even down to the elementary level, we're getting maybe 10 girls down there, which is really neat.
That's more than what you started out your freshman year.
Right.
Right.
But it's really neat to see the sport grow and the Parkland community help grow it this much.
Yeah. Do you ever do things with the younger program?
My brother wrestles on the elementary team, so I'm hanging around with him a lot. I'm at tournaments. I built relationships with a lot of little girls down there. But it's really neat to see, like, my name's on the wall in the room, and they're like, no way, that's Ella Hesner. Like, and I just don't think it hits me that, like, I've had such an impact on them yet.
And you're the only girl on the wall, right?
No, there's a lot.
There's a lot?
Yeah.
Oh, there is? Yeah. But just seeing somebody on the wall, and
like putting
you
a face
have
to it.
all those guys on the wall, and I'm sure not as many girls.
No.
And just having that is probably just so nice.
Like motivation to get to that point too later on in high school.
Yeah.
So
to show them like it's possible.
You can do it too.
Yeah, you can do it. And so they stick in it. Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
So with being a role model and having those youngers, how are you a role model for your high school team with JV and Varsity?
I'm a captain this year. I was captain the past 3 years, so sophomore, junior, and senior year. I think naturally my dad grew up as a leader. He was a captain on his wrestling team. He went to the Naval Academy, he was in the Marines, so I think I get a lot of his leadership skills, and he's really burned them into my head. So I think that really helps me help guide them, and we have our other captains that also help. But yeah, I think that's one of the coolest parts, being able to help the team that way and build them up and get them to where they need to be.
How's the camaraderie this year with the team and having that? Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of new girls this year, so it's probably fun seeing a lot of people join the sport, helping them, and kind of learn, because you were at once at that point too. Yeah.
But they try, and they're really getting far. And the difference from their first practice from over the summer or even first day of season to now is just like, it's kind of mind-blowing, and it's really cool to see how much they just progress as a wrestler.
Yeah. And so how does progressing look? Like, do you learn new moves, and how's that kind of?
Yes, you learn new moves, but it's also feeling more comfortable doing it, and I don't know, it's like just how you present yourself when you wrestle, you know?
Yeah, having the technique and kind of trying to find your way through it and seeing what works for you. Yeah. So how was that for you?
I felt really awkward for a while in the beginning, and it took a while to get over, but once I did, it was like I could really peak. So it was neat.
Do you know who helped you get through that awkwardness, or how you got through that awkwardness?
Kind of just had to stop. I always think about what other people think, and I just had to get over that. And once I did, I was able to get my match prep right, get all my moves down, and really get to work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I can imagine now, then, just seeing yourself and the work you've put in, and it's gonna all show EPC regionals and states this year. It's gonna all show. So you're a senior, like I've stated, you're a captain. I can imagine how it is your senior year, balancing everything and kind of working through it. How is that?
Good. It's really coming to an end close. We start postseason this weekend, and
that's crazy. I feel like season just started.
For me, it's over in March if you make it to states, and I think I put that in my head. But really, it's season's over end of January, beginning of February, and it's here.
Yeah.
So.
And not a ton of girls make it into EPC's regionals and states. So it's saying bye to your team and having to do it kind of with a couple girls.
Yeah.
Yeah. How is it balancing your schoolwork and wrestling this season?
It hasn't been too bad. I'm also a senior, so I'm not in too many hard classes.
How was your junior year?
Junior year, it was a lot of work, but I was able to do it. Like I was fine doing it. I get a lot of my work done in school when I'm disciplined to get it done out of school. Come home. Our practices are later in the evening, so it's not right after school. So I'll go home, do some homework, maybe have a snack, and then get ready for practice, go to practice.
Yeah. Do you do anything outside of wrestling in school?
Like outside of the wrestling room?
Yeah.
Yeah. I lift. I lift a lot. Not lifting right now because I'm not trying to put on too much muscle because I gotta keep making weight.
What's your weight class?
I'm wrestling 100 right now.
100, yeah. How is it maintaining that?
Difficult.
I think you were saying like your natural weight is not.
No, not anymore.
I feel like you have to be 11, like your natural weight for 100 is so.
Right.
Yeah.
So it is a bigger cut this year for sure. It's okay. I'm doing it for the team, doing it for myself for the postseason. So that's kind of what's getting me through the cut. It's not too bad.
How do you kind of go through the cut? Like, what do you do to maintain it?
Lesser portions of food. Not totally cutting it out because that's like ridiculously unhealthy with like the long practices and runs.
Oh, I couldn't imagine.
No, that's
not
terrible.
fueling and
right. Layering up at practice, getting a good sweat. I'll come home, sit in the hot tub for like a good hour.
Yeah, I heard from one of your teammates that like before a tournament you were just like sitting in a hot shower, like in a shower.
That day. Just it gets a sweat without you having to like go
do anything.
Right.
Go die. Yeah, I can only, because you work out so much already. You're doing so many workouts that you're already tired.
Right.
You have a meet the next day. Why would you want to waste the energy on working out?
So just in a hot tub, lose like.
That's pretty nice to lose like weight.
Really nice.
Does it? It's just like sweating stuff out.
Yeah, you just sweat it out. It's kind of really gross that you're just like sitting in a pool of
like
sweat.
Your own sweat.
Right. But it's I don't know.
Yeah.
At least I'll sweat.
At least you'll get there.
Right.
You'll get to the weight.
And I can wrestle.
Yeah, exactly. What was your weight classes before?
I've been 100 all 4 years.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So you've been you kind of are used to it. It's kind of like a routine now and doing it and having that. Besides lifting and all that, is there anything else that you do?
I run a lot, mostly to make weight. Just getting workouts in here and there. Not necessarily with other people, but like band workouts, just to get my skills sharp and stay sharp.
Yeah. And you're a senior this year, looking at college. How's that going?
It's going. I'm not sure where I want to go, what I want to do. I'm looking down the biomedical engineering route.
Oh, nice. How'd you like kind of get into that?
Well, I always want to do something in the medical field. Because sports injuries, that always like fascinated me. I've been through kind of like too many injuries. But that always, I don't know, I thought that was really neat. And
going through it yourself. What injuries did you have?
I've had so many.
It's like this.
The biggest one, I've had my shoulder fixed twice recently. Injured it again. Right.
So that's amazing. That's so great with the EPCs. So
end of season. Yeah, last season I tore it the week before states. So that one sucked. 2 surgeries on it. It's just always going to be like an
ongoing issue.
Yep.
Yeah. But it's something like you have to overcome. I feel like everyone has kind of those nags. Besides that, are there any other like nags? Not really that you have? No.
Every now and then, but it's nothing like surgery fix or that I can't get through.
Yeah, and you're obviously wrestling now and going through it, and I'm sure it hurts sometimes, but you know how to work through the pain and
protect it.
Do all. Yeah, I can only imagine. 2 surgeries.
Yeah.
Do you know what it was for?
I tore my labrum both times.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
How did you tear it? The like first and second?
The first year it was just overuse. The capsule was stretched out for a while. Everything was just not. It was just together. And then I went in for surgery. It was torn, so they had to fix it. And then the second year, I don't even know what happened. I was in the down position. I went to lean, and a teammate leaned on it, and it popped out like down. So my shoulder would dislocate like 4 times a practice. And it was like just whatever. And
could you like hear it?
Yeah, I could move it in and out, like with it was kind of gross, but I could like dislocate my other shoulder. So then I remember the second time it happened, I couldn't like move my arm. And I went to the doctor the next day to him like check it out, and he's moving it, and it popped. And it was dislocated for like a good day, and I couldn't do anything about it.
Oh, how does it feel? Like, is it like?
It depends. It's mostly like just, it feels like it's always hanging. Or sometimes it'll come out and it's like a nerve, and then
like when your arm falls asleep?
Yeah,
kind of?
It'll go down my hands and my fingers.
Ooh,
but
not fun.
Kind of used to it now.
But that's cool, like you're taking your experiences and going to want to help people with that and go into that industry. So are there any schools that you've been looking at?
I've applied to a bunch. I'm waiting on a bunch of decisions yet. Not sure what I want to do. Not sure if I want to go down the wrestling path, because I don't know if I want to deal with this, because I still want to be able to do stuff in the future if I have family, all that stuff. But yeah, I don't really know.
And you're active yourself, so I can only imagine like keep going with it and then injure it wouldn't be the best.
Yeah.
No.
No.
But that's amazing that you want to kind of do that and help people that are in your situation and kind of have that avenue and do all that.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what happens.
You talked about you might not want to wrestle in college, but do you think you'll keep wrestling kind of always in your life?
I'm hoping. It's become such a big part of my life now that like I don't know what life would be without it. I'm hoping I could maybe not a club, but like maybe get a few workouts in once a week or a few times a month.
Yeah, of course.
That'll be nice. I could even come back here and work with our teammates, help the team out. But yeah, I don't know if I'm ready to fully give it up.
Because your family, your dad, your aunt, I feel like you'll never fully give up wrestling. I can imagine all the things it's taught you, and can you like, how would you say you're gonna bring it into your life moving forward?
Like you said, it has taught me so many life lessons about just getting through tough things, like leading people, all that kind of stuff, and I think that'll take me pretty far mentally, being able to overcome difficult things, like say at work or in college when I have how many exams to study for. And I think it's like once you've wrestled, everything else kind of seems easier, because you're pushing your body and your mind to like an extreme every time you step on the mat.
It's not just physical state that you have to be. It's mental. I can only imagine, like, I can't imagine myself cutting. Like having the mentality of like, okay, I have to stay disciplined, I have to do this, whatever. It's like a very disciplined sport, and having that, and it's also not a team sport where you rely on how many other girls on the field.
Right.
It's yourself.
Yeah.
And it's only yourself, and if you lose or if you win, it's you who did it.
Right. Yeah.
And I can only imagine how that feels like mentally. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that'll help me out, teach me a lot of things.
Yeah. So we're gonna end the segment with a little game called Pin or Pass. So if you like it, you'll say pin and explain kind of why. And if you're passing on it, you'll kind of explain why you're going to pass on it. Get my... Okay. A 6 a.m. practice on a Saturday morning.
I'd say pin. Most people would not agree with that, but I do like an early morning run or an early practice, get it out of the way.
That's what I feel
like.
And
it also makes me feel like I did something with my day.
Energized.
Yes. And I'm like, okay, now I can go have like a better meal or have like a coffee.
Because you'll end at like 8 or 8:30, then you'll have the whole rest of the day and you did something already. Yeah. Trying out a brand new wrestling move during a match.
I tend to do that way too much.
Oh, you do?
I do. Most of the times it actually works. But I do like that.
What's your favorite move? If you could like pick a move.
I hit my singles a lot, my sweep single. That's kind of like my
Your
takedown, my go-to takedown that I do. I'm pretty good at it. So.
Have you tried a new move recently?
I did. I remember this for some reason. I got stuck in a position during a warm-up at a tournament, and I was like, Coach, what do I do from here? I know there's a move, I just can't think of it. And he was like, oh, this. And then it was in the semifinals, and then I tried it, and it actually worked.
What was the move?
It was a Merkle.
Got it.
So your legs in there, you're rolling through and trying to get him out of position. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cutting carbs for a big competition.
Pass.
Pass.
Yeah.
I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory.
If I didn't have to, I wouldn't.
Hot showers or hot tubs to lose weight?
Hot tubs.
Hot tubs.
Yeah, they get hot. You can set it up high.
So you're pinning that?
Yeah.
Pin.
Yeah. It stinks after, like, you're in there for like an hour and you're like, just getting too hot. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, because I can like, I feel like every time like you go in a hot tub, you go for what, like 30 minutes tops?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
I can only imagine. Overnight tournaments.
Pin. I do like those. I think it's a fun way to interact with the girls in a different setting, because you really only you see them in school sometimes and you see them in the room, but like, I don't know, it's kind of fun to stay overnight with them, and it's like a big sleepover.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, and then you have wrestling, and then you get to do whatever, breakfast, bonding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Headgear.
Pass.
Pass.
I love freestyle season when I don't have to wear my headgear. I don't know. I can't hear my coaches very well, and I also just feel like I look like a goof. I don't know.
So there's freestyle season. When is that?
Usually it's any time that's not in school season. Yeah.
So it's like club or whatever.
So all schools are folk style, which is just a different form, and then freestyle, there's more things you can do, more points, different ways to score.
And I'm gonna guess you like freestyle more?
I don't know. I like them both, actually.
Both different in their ways.
They're both very different.
But one has headgear.
Right.
Right. And we're gonna pass on that. Wearing a flashy singlet.
Pin. I think that would be fun.
What would you think, like, if you had to pick one, like, what would it be?
I mean, ideally, state finals. That'd be fun. Getting a different singlet, like a state singlet. I know guys used to do that for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are nice singlets.
Would they
Senior night would be fun.
See,
yeah.
Having would you want like a certain color or anything?
Stick with like school colors.
Yeah.
But maybe like a different design. Like I think like a big Trojan on it would be cool.
Oh, that would be cool.
Right. I don't know.
Isn't there a Trojan head on one, right? On the guys?
Maybe on one of the guys' old ones.
On the old ones. I feel like I've seen photos and there was like, because what are yours now?
Right now, ours is just red with Parkland on it.
Oh.
But it's simple and they're nice.
It's simple and nice.
Yeah.
But for like senior night and state, I feel like this should be for Parkland. Get Ella for senior night and state. Well, senior night already happened. For state, she should get a new singlet.
Right. Yeah.
If you're
I feel
listening.
like if you go flashy singlet though, you gotta get flashy on the mat.
Oh yeah.
Which I think would be fun.
Which you would.
Some big
you would.
moves.
Yeah. What's like your biggest move that you think you could do?
I don't know. I go inside trip a lot for a big.
Can you explain for people like who don't?
Off a bad shot, or they get bad shot coming up.
Yeah.
And you're just tripping them to their back. That one I usually go to. Headlocks are always there.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of headlocks.
Does that hurt like people when you do that?
Hurt the other people?
Yeah.
You can make it suck for them. You could.
Yeah. Have you ever been? Obviously, you've been in a headlock. How does that feel?
I get thrown in a headlock way too much.
Probably more than you should be thrown in a headlock.
It's okay. It's
not
it's
your
either
favorite.
fight or get pinned, and for me, it's obvious fight. Don't get pinned.
Is there like something like, oh, I'm in a headlock? What do you like your go-to thing to do?
Get out of it.
Just like
try not to get in it. Fight out of it.
Wrestling against your toughest opponent one more time.
Yeah, pin. I think that'd be fun. Redemption too, right?
Redemption. Yeah. Who, if you're thinking about it, who would be, who you would go against?
I want a stinking rematch. I lost a match this year that I shouldn't have, and I just didn't show up to wrestle, and I would love to rematch that.
When you're like on your game.
Right.
Yep. So it should be really 19-2.
I wish. Yes.
And then that's about it.
All right.
So thank you for joining us
Thanks for having me
today.
here.
I'm so happy we got to kind of talk through your wrestling journey, how it's been, and what your future holds.
Yeah, it's neat to talk about it.
Yeah, it's fun. Well, have a good day and stay tuned for Parkland TV Studio for more content like this.